Mommy, Daddy, come and look at me now.
Oh, I had so much energy, I feel like 10 minutes ago. Just like totally gone now.
Put a song on.
Put a song on, like, to hype me up.
That's what I was doing.
Okay, let me put a song on real quick. What do I want to hear? I know what I want to hear. Oh yeah. Sometimes I wonder when I look in your eye. Maybe you're thinking about some other guy, but I know, yes I know how to treat you right. That's why you call me in the middle of the night. You say it's urgent. So urgent. Okay. Woo. I'm ready now. It got me going. You know that motherfucker, he ain't cute, but damn it, when he sings, he does things to me. That lead singer, a Foreigner.
Oh.
All right. Here we go. Woo! Here we go. You ready? Okay. This is heavy friending. I'm friending you so hard. An alliance slowly forming like a boner in my heart. So if you want to fucking friend me, better give me all you got. No, I don't take this lightly, cause it's heavy. Heavy friending.
There is an eagle flying.
Hey, frienders, it's your best friend and probably your favorite person in the whole entire world. And I'm honored to have that privilege. Just that you think about me a lot and that you like to hear my voice. It's Laura Lee Bishop, and you're listening to Heavy Friending. Oh, also Joe's here.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah. See, they like me because listen to my energy. You should have listened. You should have done what I just did where I listened to the song to get hyped up.
I told you to do that.
Low energy. Yeah, I know, but now you're low energy and I'm high energy.
No, I'm not. I was listening to Talking Heads, and I'm electric, and a lot of people on my Facebook fan page say that.
What Facebook fan page?
It's made by the fans. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I want one of those. I've never had one of those, like where someone made a page dedicated to me. That would be nice.
Yeah, you kind of got to reach.
I do kind of have one, except it's dedicated to hating me, unfortunately. So
do you really have that?
Yeah. Well, they have like a whole, you know how like on Instagram you can make a story, like highlight reel. Yeah, one is just all me. It's like Primo Sucks or something. Yeah.
I mean, I think in some ways that's better than a fan page that someone would take the time. Because they hate you so much.
Yeah. And you also wonder, do they hate me? Or is there something else there?
Do they love you?
Yeah. It feels a little bit like a unhealthy obsession, like maybe they're pining after me. And it's one of those, if they can't have me, they'll just rip me to shreds online.
Yeah. That's why I don't understand love.
It's so hard to understand. I still don't understand it. I don't get it at all.
Explain love to me just real quick. How do you understand love?
Okay, it's when you get a special tingle in a special place. And that person makes that tingle, it's a different tingle than you've ever felt before. You felt a tingle, but this tingle is just very tingly. So I would say that kind of is like a beautiful way to sort of describe it. But that's, I'm a musician and a writer, and so my words are
words are powerful.
Yeah. So, I don't know love. I have love in my life, but it's weird. There's peaks, there's valleys.
Wow.
Sometimes you feel really intense, and then sometimes you're like, get away from me, motherfucker.
Right.
So it's hard. It's hard. I don't know.
Guys, this is a friendship podcast.
It sure is.
It's the number one friendship podcast, friendship-based podcast in Austin.
Yep.
But we're slowly expanding to, I would say we're the number one friendship-based podcast in the Central Texas region.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I think we're probably in San Antonio as well.
San Antonio's starting to perk up.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
remember the Alamo? More like, remember to subscribe on iTunes.
Yeah. Remember to follow on Spotify.
Remember to Podbean your Podbean.
That's right. That's kind of what love is.
True.
Yeah. So I just had my birthday. It's
happy
a new
birthday.
year. It's a new year for me. It's a whole new outlook on life. I'm trying. Well, yesterday, so my birthday was Tuesday. Today is Thursday. So yesterday, I spent the entire day in miserable agony with one of the worst hangovers I've ever had. It was wretched. It was so wretched. Like horrible moaning and pain. Like I got you know what I got yesterday? I've never done this before, but I did Uber Eats yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome, man. They just came and put it right on the door. It was very hard for me to get downstairs from my bed to downstairs. Like, I'm not kidding. It was like a freaking, war movie for me to get down there. I was like, oh, come on, you can do it. And I put a robe on and I was going, as I went down the stairs and I opened that door and I grabbed that food and I was like, oh, I made an audible moan. I got upstairs with the food because I was like, I'm just going to lay in bed and eat this, which was so stupid because it was pho. And that's just not really a bed food. You know what I mean?
And is that like a liquid? I don't really know.
It's a soup. Yeah, it's a big soup. And so I got the pho and I when you get pho, you put all the stuff in there. So you get like little basil leaf things, like little doodads that you sprinkle in there. I got everything in there. And then I took like one sip and I was like, oh my God, I can't eat this. So just sat it on the counter, like on the TV stand. And I just like smelled it and felt like I was going to barf for a couple hours. It was just a really rough day yesterday. It was not the way I wanted to start it this new year of my life, but I'm feeling good today. I woke up cured today. It was only a 24-hour hangover, only 24 hours of agony.
I mean, that's, in your age bracket, I'm sorry to say that this is going to be your life from now on.
Yeah, I know. Also, I drank a lot. I mean, I drank a lot. Like,
well, I'm surprised you didn't like lead with, something that the audience would really care about, which was that you and I hung out on your birthday.
Yeah, we did. So, I was going to ease into that,
I just feel like you started with the hangover. They're like, oh, wait, how did she get hungover?
Well, it's like
she was
one
drunk.
of those things.
She was
where
with
it's like,
Joe. That's just a weird order to stories.
It's
like
one of those things where you tell that part and then it's like, 15 hours earlier. And now you know what's going to happen. And so like you're watching and you're like, when's the time where she has the drink that gets her there? Like a movie.
So you're saying that was on purpose. You intentionally did that.
Yeah. I was going to talk about you and I hanging out.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was going to talk about that you got me a present.
Well, now we can't do that because your storytelling technique is ruined.
Well, you ruined it actually because I was setting it up.
Well, the point is it's ruined. We don't need to finger point. But
okay, well,
it is ruined, and so we won't talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, we hung out. I had a birthday. It was wonderful.
I'm a linear guy. I don't know if you know this.
I don't know that.
I'm pretty linear.
Well, I didn't know that about you. I guess I never really noticed how linear you are.
Time's a straight line to me.
You know what? Now that I think about it, okay, that checks out.
I'm linear.
You're so linear. Okay, I'm sorry. I guess I just didn't. I didn't connect the dots. Much like I was going to connect the dots of the story that I was going to tell that you
in a strange reverse order because I'm linear.
Well,
I connect the dots 1, 2, 3.
Right.
None of this 3, 2, 1. 2,
well,
2.
I think it would actually been 3, 1, 2. With the way I was going to do it, but it's fine. So I had a great birthday.
We cannot talk about that.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what I did, what I taught myself to do on my birthday.
Okay. Again, we're sort of time jumping. So, is this
so everything everything that we talk about has to have taken place after Wednesday then. So it has to have taken place today then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is friendship, does that mean anything to you?
At this moment, it means that I'm annoyed.
Understanding how your friend likes information given out.
So we can't talk about anything that hasn't happened today.
I wish we could just go back in time, but again, time is so linear to me.
You don't like to go back in time.
That doesn't even make sense. Yeah, I don't even understand what that means. The fact that you would say that
is crazy. Yeah,
it is crazy.
It's almost like you forgot that you're a linear person for a second.
No, I didn't. I said I'd love to go back in time, but I know that's not something I could do, even if it was, a thing that we did.
Okay, well, how about this? Instead of saying I learned this on my birthday, which was Tuesday, I'll say that I learned it today. Does that make it easier for you?
Well, lying I don't like.
Okay. So what do we do about this? How do we get...
I'm sorry that this is how I like things to happen. Let's just, you know what? Let's try an episode where we just ignore time.
Okay.
All time is meaningless. We'll make up our own timeline.
Okay, cool. So this is what I taught myself to do. I watched this documentary. Okay, do you want to know when?
When?
Okay, so I watched a documentary last weekend about cubes, Rubik's Cubes, okay? No. Cubing, they call it. And I think the documentary may have been called like cubing. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, it was about these Rubik's Cube competitions that they have all over the world. Mm-hmm. And people are really serious about it. It's like a huge deal. And then people they do it so fucking fast. And then they can do it with one hand. And then they have Rubik's Cubes with like a lot more squares. The standard is 3x3, the Rubik's Cube. Anyway, so I watched it and I was like, I'm going to order one of these. So I got on Amazon and ordered one, $10. And it came right to me. I got it a couple days later. And so
2 days later, so that is linear. Okay, got it.
Okay. So that's good for you then though, right?
Well, but I was trying to abandon the structure, but okay.
Okay.
2 days later, and then you started.
All right. So I got it and I taught myself how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Something I always wanted to know how to do. And now I can do it. And now it's so fun to do. It's like a fun little thing to keep my hands busy. I'm like a real fidgeter and it's hard for me to focus on one thing. So I've been like putting a movie on and cubing. And now I'm a little Rubik's Cube girl. What do you think about that?
I wonder, if there are therapeutic qualities to that.
Well, definitely. So, because one of the kids on the documentary is autistic and he had a lot of trouble. Like he was just pretty bad off in terms of like being able to communicate and any of that stuff. And they started teaching him how to do the Rubik's Cube. And he is the world champion of the 3x3. But he is so much more expressive and he has friends and it's been very helpful for him. So I'm sure there's like something about it. But anyway, you know what it was? It was just one of those things where I was like, today's my birthday and I want to learn something new. And I did. And I learned something new and I feel great about it.
That is great.
Never too old.
Good job. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people were like, ooh, is Laura, she's probably too old to partake.
Cube. Yeah.
But you proved them wrong.
I always do.
You always do. And that's why we're starting a fan page. Actually, a hate page. We're starting a hate page.
Another one. Damn.
Another one. Well, that means you're really big time.
Yeah. If I can get 2 hate pages, I may have them out there. I don't know. There's a couple. I block them though. I block them.
You can't let.
It's not because I care. It's like something you don't really want to like be inundated with on a regular basis. You know?
Oh, because they're very active.
One of them is very one person in particular is very active. He would comment on literally everything that I posted.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. I was going to say, I've been wanting to delete Facebook because I'm so tired of being annoyed and angry. And also I'm just like checking it all the time. And then I'm annoyed and angry about dumb people.
Yeah.
Well, and then I'm checking it. But like I just read these things and I'm like, oh no. And it makes me feel bad about myself. And it makes me feel bad about the state of the world.
Well, yeah, we should all feel bad about the state of the world.
So I think
you don't need Facebook for that.
Well, Facebook amplifies it.
I mean, with what I do, I don't think that's a good idea for me to delete it, but I frankly don't really use Facebook very much. I mean, I use it for messaging. So like all of the people I collaborate with for my music, we all communicate on Facebook Messenger like a lot. So I do use it for that, but I don't really look on Facebook, the news feed very often because that is where people like, I have too many friends on there from like my hometown and stuff. And they're saying wild shit and I'm not interested. I'd rather be on Instagram.
I think I'd like it more if I could just turn off the
Everyone.
news feed. Well, I was thinking, I was like, could I just mute every single person? Like, what would be in my news feed if I muted everyone?
Well, what you could do is you could start over. You could keep. This is what you do. Okay, you keep the page you have now. Mm-hmm. Start a new one and don't tell anyone, and only add like a very small number of people that are like people you want to see, and then you can get on there and not be as frustrated. You know, like, of
That's
course
an
you'd add
interesting
me.
idea.
I'd be on there probably, your brother.
Well, I wouldn't make a list right now, but
well, it's just probably wouldn't be very many is what I'm saying.
I would want to make sure that
they
they are people that I really want to be there.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's so many friends now, you couldn't unfriend them. I mean, there's just like too many to even begin.
I do. And again, I only have fan pages. So it is like mostly it's love and support that I receive. Mm-hmm. But then you get these conspiracy theories. I mean, I'm becoming a fact checker where I go,
well, you got to in this day and age. You got to check the facts.
Because otherwise the stuff just sits there and everyone goes, oh, okay, I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to be the one, hey, actually. And
I say, actually, and then I paste a New York Times article.
There you go.
And I don't say anything, but
and
I
don't even know if they can open it because they may have hit their quota of articles they could read.
And I'm fine with that because I don't really want to engage, but then I have to engage ultimately when they're like, oh, I don't believe that. Do you think the New York Times is going to tell me?
Yeah. And then you're like, never mind.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even respond anymore. Actually, there's been so many times where I've typed out like a long, articulate response and then just deleted the whole thing and said no, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to spend all this time trying to explain something to someone that's so over their fucking tiny little head and their little brain. And then they're going to come back with some dumb shit that makes no sense. And it's just like so pointless and such a waste of time.
Yeah. And so that's why I like, I mean, your idea of just starting a new account is an interesting idea, but I also think just less Facebook would be better as opposed to like giving Facebook more information about me.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, sure. Sure, man. You got to do what makes you happy. And for me,
makes me happier. For me,
it's Cuban. For me, it's Cuban. Yeah, that's what I like to do.
Smoking a Cuban.
Okay.
A cigar.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
What else would it be?
I don't know, like a Cuban person smoking a meat of some kind.
Okay. Oh, like a sandwich, like the sandwich. There's a sandwich.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. I want to tell you something that that another thing that happened this last weekend.
Okay.
And this is kind of linear. Now listen, this is kind of linear because I'm still sticking on the same weekend, right? Okay. Okay. So let me tell you something that blew my mind that I don't know how I didn't know this. Okay. The following is going to contain spoilers for the film Never Ending Story that came out, I believe, in like 1984 or something. So if you haven't seen that yet, this is on you, okay? Because it's very fucking old. So have you seen Never Ending Story, Joe?
Yeah, probably in the mid-90s.
Right. Okay. So in the movie, the kid reads the book and he starts to interact with the book, right? The characters, he yells something and they can hear him and all that kind of stuff. Okay, it gets to the end of the movie and Fantasia's like disappeared and all that's there is like the childlike empress or whatever. And she's talking to Atreyu and she's like, don't you see? He can help us. He's the one who's going to save us. And he's like, how? And he's like, he's watching us right now. And then she says, but what he doesn't know is that when he was in the bookstore stealing the book, when the bullies were chasing him down the street, someone was watching him too. It's a never-ending story. That is what the never-ending story means. That everyone is being watched by someone else reading their story in a loop. Is your mind blown right now? Is that why you're not saying anything? Because your mind's blown?
I sort of wasn't paying attention. I was trying. There were so many names of characters.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
It wasn't fully.
The point is the boy is reading the story and watching them, and they know he's watching, but he doesn't know that someone's watching him reading his story. And the people reading his story don't know that someone's reading their story. They're all reading each other's stories. It's a never ending story. That's what that meant. I never knew that.
What
my
did you
whole life.
think it meant? Because
I don't know.
I never thought about it.
I just never thought it. I didn't really think anything of it. I just thought maybe the book. I thought maybe the story of Fantasia like never ended or something. You know, or the book he was reading because it was you could see it like write itself or whatever. I didn't know it meant that like there's people are reading me. I don't know. It blew my mind. Also, I was high at the time, so it was like super. It was like whoa, rock my world.
All right, enough said about that because now that makes sense. Yeah, it's not fully tracking for me.
I'll tell you what makes
really
sense.
Know what's going on?
I'll tell you what makes sense is that it takes you being high sometimes to notice the thing that's been staring you right in the face. Because we're always, you know what? You're right. We're always looking in our fucking phones, scrolling around. A movie's on. We're not even looking at it. We're too busy looking everywhere else but at the screen, showing us a story. And I missed that for so long because I was too busy being distracted by other things.
Well, now you're going to be Cuban, so you're not going to be watching stuff.
Well, this is kind of like, it's not the same though, because like the cubing is sort of like, it's not like a super active thing in terms of like paying attention. You know what I mean? You like learn these algorithms and stuff, but it's sort of rote in a way. So I think I can do it all. I think I can.
Well, great. Good for you.
Mm-hmm. So
we're all proud of you.
2 things I learned that are new.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, and have you learned anything new recently?
That second thing was very important. I think that's going to change a lot of people's
the never ending story?
Yeah. I think.
Okay. I promise you this. I promise you right now, someone is listening to this and is going, holy shit. Holy shit. I watched that movie my whole life and I never knew what the never ending story meant. And I never knew that someone was reading Sebastian while Sebastian was reading Never Ending Story. I promise. There's somebody out there that's like, what?
Here's what I promise. Apparently a lot of people are high when they either participate in this podcast
that's true.
Or listen to this podcast.
Yes.
So we are Austin's probably not
kind of stoner pod, but yeah,
we're almost stoner pod.
Because we've only been high one time on the podcast. I don't know if you guys heard it, but check it out. It's a great episode.
An episode. It started 2020 that way with 420.
Yeah, what a way to start it.
Did we ever say that? That would have been good for marketing.
If we said what?
What I just said with
the 420 thing.
We started 2020 with 420. I think that would have really.
You think that's good?
I think it would have helped it go more viral.
Well, it went
interesting.
Pretty viral. It's interesting because it's not linear what you're saying. And so that's kind of against your.
It's a joke. It's not linear. It's a joke. It's a play on time almost.
Okay, I just didn't know you like to play with time. I thought you were very serious about it. But I get it.
I'm pretty serious about it, but I also recognize humor and wordplay, and I appreciate that. So
okay, cool.
In my whatever ranking system, it goes humor first, then time. So if I can make fun of time, that's the only thing that trumps time
is humor. Okay.
Yeah, and wordplay and all that.
Okay.
All that
so
falls under the humor umbrella.
But it's so time is number 2 then.
Time number 2. And I can make a joke about number 2 because again, humor is number 1. So I can say, time number 2.
Yeah, duties, right.
Fart
I get it. Let me ask this. What's number 3 then for you?
What? Okay, so let's go through it again. It's humor 1.
Humor 1.
Humor 1. Time 2.
Number 2.
Number 3, that's frozen pizzas.
Okay, cool. All right.
So, and again, because of that hierarchy, time is very important to frozen pizzas. So time always trumps.
That's actually very true.
You can't do it too long. You can't do it too short. So
that's true.
Frozen pizza, it's time, then frozen pizzas. Now, if I made a joke about putting a pizza in for too long or too short of amount of time, I could do that.
You're doing it right now, I think, sort of.
It is funny what I just said.
Yeah,
so yes, I did nail it.
You did.
So
definitely.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, cool.
Just kind of a cool guy
Yeah.
who knows his value system. What's your value system?
I don't do like you, man. Okay, man. I don't.
Oh, you
rank
don't even do
things,
numbers
bruh.
in a
No,
linear
I don't
way.
do that. No, I don't do all that. I'm not about ranking things. You know, this isn't Nazi Germany. Okay, I'm not like putting labels on this and putting labels on that, and this is above this and this is below that. I don't do that. I don't fuck with that. Okay.
You're implying that I am Nazi Germany?
I am your ranking system. Yeah, I am. I'm inside your brain, inside your mind a little bit. Yeah. Whereas I'm like free love and free thinking, you know? So
I guess, yeah, I'm like, we need more restrictions on speech. We shouldn't let people say whatever they want on
well, actually,
Facebook.
you know, I agree with that though. I do. I would really like it if some people couldn't say things sometimes.
What if it was something like, you know, we take a cognitive test?
I've already said that. I wish we had to take the test to vote, and then we would have a lot less problems in this country.
Person,
or maybe
woman,
if
man.
exactly. Maybe the person running for, let's just say
Camera.
not even the voters, but just the person running for office, if they had to take a cognitive test of some sort. And by cognitive, I mean an IQ test, not a test to prove whether or not you have fucking dementia. Like a test that proves your IQ is above a certain number. And then you could run for office. And that would solve all of our problems instantly.
Well, what I was going to say is you take this test. Maybe it's an IQ test. I mean, I think IQ tests aren't necessarily accurate. But if you took a test and then it was like based on how well you
IQ
did,
test? Let me ask that.
based on how well you do on the test, that's like how many posts you get. So if you're like really smart, you could do 20 posts in a week.
Yeah.
If you're dumb, you get 1 post a week.
Or even like not a full post. Or you get limited characters.
Yeah,
Because
but
they may,
you can
take
like
advantage. You know, and they may do a
Although
really
then you're
long
gonna get,
post.
You're going to get those evil geniuses who nail the test, and then they're going to use their 20 posts for evil.
Well, they're already doing that. So
Because they're manipulating the dumb.
Yeah. But let me ask this.
the
Have
dumb
you
folks.
taken an IQ test?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't even
I only
remember.
asked because you said it wasn't accurate. It sounded like someone who may have taken one and not been happy with the results.
No. I don't think I've never been like even for whatever ACTs. I don't remember what I got, but it's not like I was the best in the class or anything.
Right. Well, we know that. I know that. I wanted to know if it said.
But
you
I
were
did well. You know, I went to the prestigious
Drake University School of Journalism and Mass
Des Moines,
Communication.
Iowa. I went to Meredith Hall daily.
What is that?
That's just a building. It's called Meredith Hall.
Jesus Christ.
What? It's just a building. Do you know buildings?
Yeah, I do. I've heard of them.
Do you think that would be a good episode? You and I taking some sort of test, and then
I think it would be stressful for me.
it would tear us apart. Really.
I don't want to do things that are stressful for me anymore. That's another thing. You know, it's my birthday and I have a new outlook, and it's like, why would I do that to myself?
Good.
I don't want to
do it because I don't want to lose, but I also don't want to win.
Okay. Well, that's true. I get it.
Because I think you would
retaliation.
I think you would destroy. Yeah. I think you would break stuff.
Yeah, probably. Because it would be so obvious to me that you cheated, and that would make me really mad.
See, you're already implying the only way I could beat you would be to cheat.
Oh yeah. Or if I was like incapacitated, or you drug me or something, and I don't think that you're above doing that.
I would never want to beat you at the test because you'd be calling fake news, the post office, and all this nonsense.
The post office.
Let's go. I don't know where this is linear in time, but
okay,
let's go to your party because the listeners, they wanted to hear about it. I said, they've
been waiting.
No. But now I'm in a place where I think it's okay.
Well, now it's like a fun surprise because you didn't think you're going to get to hear about it. Now you are.
Yeah.
So what about my party?
Let me take you through my pre-party and then we'll get to the party because I want it to be a little linear block.
Right. I get it.
So, your husband, John, he texts me. He says, hey, we're going to do this little party. It's going to be soups fun. We're going to get, bartenders to make drinks. It's not going to be a crazy, amount of people or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was nervous. I
told him, okay, so I didn't know I was having a party like that, but he was like, well, do you want to have anybody over? And I was like, I don't think so. Like, I don't think anybody's going to come. Like, I know Joe probably won't come and Sam probably won't come. And this person, I was like naming all these people that I just didn't think were going to come. So I told him, I was like, I don't think Joe is going to leave the house.
I didn't want to. Part of me did not want to. But then actually Sam messaged me the day before. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go but I'm very strict on distancing. She's like, I'm going to bring my own cooler and I'm going to do all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. 'Cause sometimes, it's hard for me to set my boundaries. Mm-hmm. That's just a life thing. Whether
I get that. It's not
dating,
a time thing
or that's true. Yeah. So boundaries is pretty low on my list. I wish it was higher.
Okay, so what number is boundaries for you?
Okay, well, let's go through them again. So it's
great.
Number 1 is, of course, humor.
Yes.
Number 2 is time. 3 is frozen pizza.
Right.
So boundaries is probably, close to, this isn't a comprehensive list, so it's probably like 10.
Right. Okay, cool. So, I get it. So there's a bunch of other things that go.
There's a few other, I don't think we should get into them, but.
Okay.
It is a good list.
Okay, great.
So anyway, so I was really nervous. I didn't want to go. I don't want to, even though, the best thing about it was that it was, in your backyard. It wasn't going to be a ton of people.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So then I went and I was like nervous and I was like standing at when I arrived, I was like standing at your gate, like afraid to go in.
Oh, geez.
It felt like, which is funny because it's not like totally a foreign feeling for me. Cause I'll go to parties sometimes. And actually, if I go alone, especially, I'm nervous to go in. Mm-hmm. But this was a nervousness, I think less social nervousness and more just like, I guess it's social because you are like afraid of, having to set boundaries and be like, okay, I don't want to be by you, or like, please don't breathe on me, mister.
Yeah.
So I guess it is a social thing.
Sure.
But then I went in and I had a lot of fun. Yeah,
it was great. It was a good time from what I remember of it. Now there's definitely a large chunk of the evening that is a total black spot for me.
Now, do you want me to fill you in? I left earlier than
I don't want you to tell me. I don't want to know. You know what I mean? I don't want to know. I know I had a good time.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I had a good time because I talked to Spencer the next day and he was like, you are on fire. And I was like, don't elaborate. I don't want to know what that means. I was on fire.
Well, I won't say what happened.
Did something happen?
Let me just ask you a question and then you answer it.
Did something happen?
Let me just ask you a question.
Okay.
And then you answer, and then we'll move on. We won't.
Okay.
We'll be nothing.
Okay.
So the next day when you were hungover,
yes,
was your were you also suffering from a pain in your crotch?
I tried to do the splits, didn't I?
So you don't remember doing the splits?
No, but it's a common thing that I do when I get very blackout drunk for some reason. I always try to do the splits and someone always takes a picture and sends it to me. And I'm always like hovering above the ground with like a grimace on my face because I can't do the splits. And I don't know why it is when I get blackout drunk that I think I'm going to do it. But I think I try pretty much every time.
Oh, yeah. You did it a lot of times.
Good. Great.
And people were very accommodating. I think we all knew you weren't really doing the splits.
But you were cheering that I did?
But we were impressed. We were like, okay, she's... Because you had good energy. You sold it.
Good.
But you yeah. If you check the tape, it's not it's nothing to brag about.
Well, I'm sure it's not. I wouldn't want to brag about anything I did that night. I drank a lot of liquor. And that's another thing is I don't usually drink liquor. And I had a lot of liquor. I just kept being like, another one. And, there was a bartender.
Yeah.
So it was like, I was just sitting on my ass, just flipping my finger like, come on, give them to me, bud.
Right. You didn't have to drive. You didn't have to worry about.
I sure didn't. And it was great.
Yeah.
It was great. That was wonderful. It was so great to see everyone. And, I haven't seen you in so long. It was so great to see you.
Yeah.
You need a haircut for sure.
First time since March. Yeah. And you did say that. And I was like, okay, well, what do you mean? I'm not going to the barber.
I know, but you did it yourself before and it looked good. So it's time for you to give yourself a haircut.
I know. Well, I've given myself a haircut twice. And, I guess when you leave your house for the first time in 6 months, you're not super excited to hear someone say oh, you need a haircut. You know do you see what I'm saying?
I'm looking out for you because
I don't think
this is the first, but there may be a second.
I don't think looks matter at this stage. No one.
I don't either. My roots are down to my freaking. They're 6 inches long. I look like total butt shit.
I know, and I was going to say that to you, but I'm very
it was my
actually
birthday.
nice.
But it was my birthday, so you couldn't.
Was
say
your
it
birthday?
To me.
And you never opened my gift when I was there.
Yeah, I know. I got too drunk.
Yeah, because I got you a gift.
I did open it, and I am going to. I'm home alone this weekend, so I think I'm gonna open her up, and I'm gonna use her.
Do you actually think that's a good gift?
Yeah, it's something to do. I have you know what I mean. Great. Other than work, all I do is work all day, and I think it's making me a little bit crazy. And so that's another thing in this new year of my life. I'm gonna work a little less. And say no to things, and try to make time for the things I like to do, like cubing and painting the unicorn that you bought me and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
The great thing, this isn't about me, but I bought you a great gift. It's I think 2 unicorn statues that everything's.
I think it's 2. One. Oh.
I believe it's 2 because I think one's more of a bust of a unicorn. I think one's.
Oh, I see that now because it's right here.
Body. Yeah,
I take it with me everywhere now.
Okay, well, you clearly haven't maybe looked at it too closely.
I just hold it. Yeah, I smell it.
But the exciting thing is it comes with everything you need to paint these unicorns.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I may even start on it tonight. I don't know.
I'm just happy that it's going to bring you some moments of joy and maybe just, moments of separation from this crazy, crazy world.
Should I try to paint it in your likeness?
I would be curious what that would look like. I think that's up to you.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. We'll see what I don't want to get, for me, I don't rank things, but for me, the number one thing for me is just freedom and creativity. So I won't even put myself in a box. I'll just see what happens when I get in there,
See, that was a very Nazi kind of statement.
That I don't like to rank things and I like freedom and creativity.
No, that you say, oh, I don't like to rank things, but meanwhile you ranked it. You basically said number 1 and number 2, freedom and creativity.
Oh, I didn't say it was number 1, number 2. I just said
you implied it.
Well,
you implied it.
Well, that's a linear mind thinks that way, and so my mind, my mind's like a circle.
Well, I think
no up, down, left, right. We're all connected. So
I think the Nazis implied a lot of things too. So I'm just saying it's kind of Nazi-esque.
Sure. Okay. Sure, Joe.
So
sure.
You're a Nazi like me.
Great. And that's friendship.
Do you think this episode should be called Nazis Like Us?
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so because
I thought you like creativity.
Now
you're anti-creativity.
All jokes aside, here at Heavy Friending, we do not support Nazis. We do not support the alt-right. We do not support conservatives. We do not support Republicans. We do not support I'm just going to keep getting more and more.
I don't support
moderates.
QAnon.
We don't fuck with moderates on this podcast either. It's you know what? Make up your fucking mind. Okay, we don't fuck with that on this podcast. It's left or get the fuck out.
Okay.
And that's the official stance of heavy friending. Can you agree? Come on, Joe.
I think this country needs to come together.
Oh.
I think when I run for president, I will be the unifying candidate.
Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. This has been Heavy Friending.
Oh, that was the end.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to? I don't want to. I hate to ask this because I feel like it's going to be not linear. But is there anything you'd like to say?
No.
Before we end it,
I just thought it felt short, but let's get out of here.
Well, I'm looking at the numbers here, and it's looking like a good time to me. And
okay,
you want to hang out after, man? I'm totally open to it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to watch me paint these unicorns, by all means.
Do you want to do a bonus episode? And of course, when I say bonus episode, that means just you and I talking more.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea because if you guys, we've done a revamp of our Patreon. Oh. And, we said we were going to do it. And now I just feel like it's a good time to do it. Our tiers are changing. And I don't really know how that works if you have people already subscribed to certain tiers, Joe. Well, we'll have to talk about that.
I think the people that are still paying are probably just going to be happy that
they get anything.
They'll get something. Yeah.
Yeah. Because our Patreon sucks. Okay. We get it.
We're
revamping and we're going to start doing bonus episodes. So here's the deal. Patreon.com/heavyfriending. We're going to keep talking. And if you want to hear what we have to say and what we're talking about, you'll have to become a patron.
Okay, good. Because I kind of want to. You and I did not talk about the new vice president.
Okay. That's nominee. A good bonus. That's a good bonus for sure. Excellent. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and thank you to everyone who's going to be listening to this bonus episode on Patreon.com/heavyfriending. Oh, give us your money. I love this cube. I actually spun it a couple of times while you were talking.